Thank you. We may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for gracing this occasion, whereby we have the launch of the revenue assurance operation and commissioning of the bikes you see there. More details will be given by the next speaker. We've got a very important guest who is going to be introduced in due course. But all I say is we have our Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development, Comrade Magnam Mjigiwa. We've got the Executive Chairman of Zetdc Holdings, Dr. Sidney Gata. We have the consultants from Zetdc Holdings who are here. We have the Zimbabwe Republic Police Acting Propo Harare Province Assistant Commissioner Nyazema. Representatives from the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission. We actually have the Acting Managing Director of Zetdc, Engineer Howard Choga, who is also accompanied by the Acting Commercial Director of Zetdc, Engineer Ralph Katsande. We have various general managers from Zetdc here present, and the regional transmission managers, management and staff. We've got members of the Fourth Estate, the media who are here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is, like I'm the MC, my name is my name is Dr. George Manyaya. I'm getting used to because I'm now working with engineers, so it's getting them. Yes, sorry about that. Anyway, before we go further, we always start by opening up with a prayer. And here I see that we've got our NTC manager, who is the National Training Center manager, our host, Amakwaza, who is going to come and pray for us.
Tikotamisei uso hwedu tinamati. Tinokutendai mangwanani anu Baba muzita raJesu Kristu. Tinokutendai nechipo choupenyu. Tokutendai nenyasha dzokuungana. Tokutendai norushando hwino. Shoko renyu rinotaura kuti anovaka kana kavaka musipo anovaka pasina. Naanorinda guta akarinda imi musipo anorinda pasina. Nesuwo Baba tikada kuita lonchi imi musipo tinolonja pasina. Tinokumbira uwepo hwenyu, tinokumbira utungamirirwa nemi, tokumbira kuropofadzwa nemi, tokumbira kuti tive neunity of purpose. Ropafadzaiwo vatungamiriri vedu, vapei the wisdom nevision yekuti tiindire mberi sekambani. Tinotenda nyasha dzenyu Baba, tinoramba chingokumbira wisdom norudo hwenyu, tichikutendai norunyararo rwuri munyika medu. Nyasha dzenyu ngadzionekwe kumasikati ano. Patotanga iko zvinosvika patopedza tokumbira kuti muve nesu muzita raJesu Kristu. Amen.
Thank you very much. I have a proposal, Acting Minister, that I think as part of our subsidiaries, we must also have ZESA interdenominator church or something like that. You see the quality that we have here. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we are here for a special occasion, and we thank you for coming. And all those at home, all those who are abroad, we thank you. We are live streaming on all our platforms. There's ZTN, there's ZBC. I can see all the platforms are here, and we'll be live streaming. So I also say to you, welcome to those who are joining us from wherever you are around the world. Now let me take this time to introduce and have our welcome remarks from a man who was appointed to be acting managing director of Zetdc effective 1 October. But as you all know, he has already hit the ground running. His passion and determination and the way he's encouraging the team is very, very, very motivating. And I will not take much of the time to introduce Engineer Howard Choga, just to give us some welcome remarks. Engineer.
I need an adjustment for exceptional altitude talent. Thank you very much, Dr. Manyaya. Probably allow me to remove my mask. I know, though there's a risk of boom spraying COVID, I could be enough distance away to still ascertain your safety. I want to recognize the presence of our Honorable Acting Minister of Energy and Power Development, Dr. Comrade Jenfan Mswere, Honorable Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development, Comrade Magnam Jigiwa. We were expecting the PEMSEC. I will still recognize in her absence Dr. Engineer Gloria Magombo, our Executive Chairman, Dr. Sidney Gata. We also were expecting an official from Anti-Corruption Commission. I haven't seen them. I would still recognize them. Our ZRP official, you're welcome, sir. Thank you for gracing our occasion. We've got MDs of different subsidiaries of ZESA Holdings. I recognize your presence. ZESA Holdings and its subsidiary directorate or directors, you're welcome. Then our consultants, we have a team of advisors who are advising the chairman's office. We recognize your presence. We also have general managers from different regions of Zetdc. You're welcome. The RTMs, the regional transmission managers, management and staff of the group, as well as members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Right. The program that we are hosting today has since been described. We want to say that this is a special day for us as Zetdc, as ZESA Holdings, as the power and electricity industry in Zimbabwe. We are making this day in a quest to turn around the business fortunes of the sector in terms of revenue collection, which comes through plugging of leakages, as well as ensuring revenue collection, which would enhance the viability of the power utility. I want to heartily welcome you all to the launch of Revenue Assurance Operation, a new business initiative that has been mooted by Zetdc through the brains of Harare region and its management, which is meant to enhance revenue collection and revenue assurance. Your presence here, all of you, is actually not a fluke, but it recognizes you as bona fide stakeholders of this industry and movers and shakers of the power utilities. So we remain resolutely focused on the mandate of ZESA and the electricity industry in general, to the provision of safe and reliable electricity and energy to all in the country at large. I would also want to assure you that you will enjoy the tranquility of the host institution, which actually gave us an opening prayer through the leader here. And also to say that this program is actually going to add a further in the drive by ZESA Holdings and its subsidiaries to improve the socio-economic spectrum of the nation. I would want to conclude by saying that we all aspire and drive this through the leadership of our executive chairman, whose energy we all know. It's unparalleled in as far as driving innovation for the industry is concerned. So we are taking after him in trying to add more strategies to enhance the performance of the sector. So at this point in time, I want to thank you all and wish you well in the launch of this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer. We thank you for that. Before you actually say to Engineer, I think the stage, Fatashika, Abashadama MC, Pakudama introductions, Evakuru. So just take this opportunity. I heard you talking about unparalleled. Can you come and continue and actually introduce the Executive Chairman?
Right, this time I will not adjust this. I will try and reach out to it so that we save the mechanics of the system. I've just been given a task to introduce the Executive Chairman. I have tried to follow his CV, but I think I failed to grasp the length and breadth of it. But I would say that he is an expert in both the software and hardware of the electricity industry, in the sense that I know in the ICT industry, you know, software and hardware, the way they are differentiated. Within the electricity industry, he has been very instrumental in the restructuring or structuring of the industry from the 80s to date. He was actually the first black general manager of the sector in 1980. He saw through the first, can I say, restructuring of the sector that came with the Electricity Act of 1985. He was leading that process. He was also the leader of the unbundling that came in 2002. And now he is coming again to the sector as an executive chairman to lead the rebundling of the sector. In between these times, he has led financial institutions, international banks, structuring investments in different parts of the world. This is none other than Dr. Sidney Gata, who is our executive chairman. I welcome you, sir. And I also may call you to the podium for delivery of your speech. Thank you.
I am not anything as tall as Engineer Choga. When I interviewed this man for the position of leader of generation and transmission, I was compelled to feel that we could save on ladders because he could change insulators without any equipment. Thank you, Director of Ceremony, Dr. Manyaya. I would like to start by recognizing the presence here of our guest of honor, the Honorable Dr. Jenfan Muswere, who is today acting as Minister of Energy and Power Development. May I also welcome Deputy Minister Comrade Magna Muchiwa, Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development, and also in absentia, Dr. Gloria Magombo, who should have been here with us today, but has had to send her apologies. Let me also recognize the senior leadership of our great organization. First and foremost, Chukwenere, who is a member of the board of ZESA Holdings, That is the main board that regulates the electricity business of Zimbabwe. He's also group financial controller. Then we have none other than our host, Engineer Choga, who is a very prominent leader in in transmission, distribution, and retail supply activities of our industry. The rest of senior management who have been kind enough to join us, our esteemed consultants who have come back to ZESA to assist us or to assist their country. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel honored to say a few words this morning to give you background of the occasion for which we've assembled to celebrate. My comments are mostly to do with the electricity sector as it stands today, Honorable Minister. In a nutshell, we in Zimbabwe have all the resources that are necessary to drive a viable and competitive electricity supply industry and to be a leader of this market in sub-Saharan Africa. The resources take into account our massive coal resources, even though there are issues about climate change impacts. We have massive hydro potential, about which we've already commenced to promote the resources of the Kafue-Zambezi catchment area in collaboration with Zambia, ZESCO, and Mozambique EDM and HCB. As regards renewable energy resources, principally solar energy and wind power and biomass, in relative terms, the resources are infinite. We can never contemplate a population large enough to threaten the sustainability of those resources in terms of demand supply. We have endless opportunities in renewable energy. That is the base that describes our sector. So the challenges we face, and revenue assurance is one of them, I'll come to that shortly. But on a broad perspective, we have challenges to develop and redevelop and finalize the process of development itself. I know it sounds repetitious, but that's the description that is appropriate to the task ahead. Policy, public policy, as it regulates the electricity sector. In general, we must now accept that the world has changed to a position where electricity is now being progressively supplied by the private sector. I'm talking about independent power projects and sometimes public-private partnership projects. If we had advanced this opportunity when it became available immediately after the unbundling of 2003, which created an independent office of the regulator, we should be exporting electricity today. Today, only 1.5% of energy production and supply to the national grid is coming from IPP companies, nearly 20 years after reform, restructuring, which was in the main intended to attract private capital and new technology. By comparison, countries that followed us in terms of reform, such as Zambia, 20% of the energy supply is from IPPs. Such as Mozambique, 35% is from IPPs. In countries like Ireland, the law specifies that the national utility can only generate 50% and not anymore. The rest is IPPs. This was intended, and it is achieving the intent, to lessen the burden on the fiscus in financing infrastructure in the electricity sector. However, for IPPs to prevail, there must be impeccable revenue assurance, the objective for which we have assembled here this morning to progress. I feel that the Honorable Minister, our guest of honor, will be articulating the details of this, but I feel that I could share with you just a few challenges. As regards the current situation, we all agree that they require extraordinary measures. System losses stand at 19%, as reported for year-end 2020, against an international benchmark of only 10%. There are still metering, billing, and collection challenges. For instance, about 100,000 customers are still on load limit and postpaid metering. That kind of metering allows for a lot of leakages. Some corporate clients also, some of them with very big names in town, are not paying their bills. Even others are engaging in energy theft. Our debtors book is ballooning, and as of today, we have over $15 billion owed to ZESA by defaulting customers. The customer base is also fast approaching. We are nearly 1 million customers. We stand today with over 300,000 customers that have no access to electricity. The demand still exceeds internal generation, and for us to be able to compensate for the shortfall, we need cash to pay for imports. And without a revenue assurance program, we fail to collect the cash that we need to bring in the electricity to supplement our shortfalls. I don't understand here to give you only a bleak story. Allow me, Honorable Minister, to take this opportunity to assure the government and our country that we are not gasping for strategic responses to the challenges that I have highlighted. We have a strategic response to the current emergencies in supply-demand shortfalls, and also our contribution to NDS-1, as well as our contribution and master planning for Vision 2030. In a nutshell, let me say this. Within the next few years, up to 2024, which is the target delivery date for the National Development Strategy, Phase 1, we want to clear the 300,000 customer backlog of connections. We want to be able to connect the 250,000 houses the government is contemplating to be constructed in the next 4 or 5 years. We want to be able to connect and supply some 23 mining and smelting applications that have come in the last 9 months that aggregated to 2,100 megawatts, more than the maximum demand that we're supplying today. We want to achieve this in the next 5 years. Agricultural load has increased by 53% between last year and this year, mostly in winter wheat. We want to be able to satisfy that also reliably and to cater for what we see is continued expansion in that sector. There are also other sectors, commercial, industrial, transport, institutional, and so forth. But I just picked the highlights. To meet this emergency, as I said, we are not short of strategic responses. As we speak today, we're just about to finalize an agreement with Zetdc Zambia, which will immediately deliver 100 megawatts, and in January, another 200 megawatts. That ought to give us some stability. We are also about to conclude the agreement with Cabara Bassa and EDM Mozambique to deliver 180 megawatts before Christmas. So there you are, some 500 megawatts, plus or minus, that will be available. And the plans for that, they are now in what I call an irreversible mode. They're going to happen. We attended, through the government, the COP26 conference in Glasgow, where there was such emphasis against coal and equal emphasis on energy efficiency. In this country, another strategic response available to us is the Zetdc efficiency program, which was started by the German government. That could deliver another 400 megawatts of energy savings in the next few years. We are also pleased to confirm that we are on target to resolve the maintenance work at Kariba, which have seen 2 machines out every 6 hours and has accounted for some of the load shedding that we are seeing. That work will be completed in December. I am also pleased to announce that we have received an additional allocation of generation water from ZRA on Kariba, which will spring up our average generation that is allowed by ZRA from 450, these are base load numbers, up to 650. And then to announce also that we are now fully funded with about $310 million from China, in the Exim Bank, to finance the refurbishment of Hwange 1 to 6 units. There are other measures, but the most principal of them all are the local IPP companies. We have licensed in this country some 100 IPP projects, mostly in solar. We know that the government is working very hard to complete the process of incentivizing the investments, particularly to temper the anxieties of lenders on the aspect of government implementation agreements. I know that work is being accelerated, but I just want to share with this forum that once that is delivered, of the 7,000 megawatts that are brought about from these 100 licenses, we can say 10% can be assured, and that is 700 megawatts out of 7,000. Now, 700 megawatts coming into our network immediately translates to a Zimbabwe, a ZESA, that will be exporting electricity. And we look forward to the earliest realization of that. As I conclude, I have been given some commendations by Engineer Choga, but I'd like to thank him back for not just his generosity, but for his leadership of Zetdc. In the 2 months he has been acting, I've seen vivid changes, a new pace of doing things, some scrupulous attention to detail. And all of this assists us in revenue assurance and in accumulation of value from our services. Honorable Minister, I welcome you to this occasion. I know so well your passion for ICT deployment in the fullest extent. You have a passion that is deep about digitalizing our lives. ZESA will be working with your ministry to digitalize revenue collection completely. And we are present and available to partner with the companies that fall under your responsibility to do joint projects. ZESA managers know of my passion for joint deployment of ICT and power in the rural areas in particular. The digitalization of our communities must be seen to the final end in the deepest of the rural areas. And together we can achieve this. Just to inspire the Honorable Minister, our guest of honor, I'm going to invite Engineer Kasande to just give us a few words about what he is doing regarding digitalizing revenue assurance in the city of Harare. I thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Honorable Minister, ZESA has developed in-house some software, a geographical information system. This system talks to the billing and token vending applications. On the push of a button, the system can flag the properties or meters that are in arrears that need to be disconnected, as well as those that are not buying tokens or buying very low, because those become the suspicious points. So it's a very innovative technology using business intelligence. We realize that the future is in ICTs, and manual processes are problematic. So the collections and fighting fraud, has been automated. Our revenue assurance inspectors on their bikes, will be able to go directly to the house, which is in areas or suspicious, in no time. And, this is the level that we've reached, and we're very proud about the in-house development of the solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we can now give another hand of applause. I was very happy and touched, and I think even those who are watching, when the executive chairman was explaining the challenges, some of the challenges, though he then went on the solutions, the reason that made me happy was that, Honorable Minister, I think it has vindicated us. On social media, we were going to face a black Christmas, especially for us at ZESA, because there was a moratorium that all ZESA employees must not be given cold beer. I think you saw it on Makaiwana, and it's happy with cold beer because the true one is a market. So I think you've explained, Chairman, and I want to thank you. And guys, pay your bills. Without much further ado, I think pataurwa nyaya yanga ichitaurwa panapa, it was talking about these issues of people actually stealing electricity. Zvakumboda vemutemo. Assistant Commissioner Nyasema, chimbouyai mutaure nevanhu.
May I salute the presence of the Honorable Acting Minister of Energy and Power Development, Dr. Muswere. May I also recognize the presence of the Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development, Comrade Muchiwa. Our host today, the Acting Managing Director, Zetdc, Engineer Choga, the Executive Chairman of ZESA Holdings, the entire ZESA top management and staff, as well as esteemed ZESA Holdings board members who are here, the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Zimbabwe Republic Police, Commissioner General of Police, Comrade T.G. Matanga, and indeed on my own behalf, I wish to begin by expressing our gratitude for this kind invitation. I'm excited to share policing insights at this momentous occasion, the launch of the Revenue Assurance Operation Musabe Magets. Certainly, it is through such robust and proactive initiatives that ZESA can plug operational gaps and remain able to aptly respond to emerging client needs and obtaining challenges. The name given to the operation speaks to the challenges of theft and revenue loss being faced by the Zimbabwe Electricity Transmission and Distribution Company. I'm sure we all agree that this is having ripple effects on the nation as a whole. Crime in general and theft as well as vandalism of key state infrastructure constitutes a potent threat to national security. As such, if not properly managed, it can submerge Zimbabwe into anarchy and stifle economic growth. The provision of reliable and adequate electricity supply is without doubt a key economic driver. Resultantly, it is clear that losses suffered by the Zimbabwe Electricity Transmission and Distribution Company have a direct impact on the national economy. Insecurity discourages investment and makes it attractive to do business in Zimbabwe when it is prone to crime. This is because it increases the cost of doing business either through direct loss of goods and property or the cost of taking precautions against business risks and uncertainty. Furthermore, to society in general, when there's vandalism of public infrastructure, such as street lights, it means the general populace becomes prey to the marauding criminals who steal and rob under the cover of darkness. Sadly, the theft and vandalism of electrical gadgets and utilities has become common sight on most media platforms, as well as horrific images of persons electrocuted in the course of stealing power cables or stealing from power transformers. As the Zimbabwe Republic Police, we are fully cognizant of the fact that we must put all hands on the deck as we seek to curb this potentially destructive tide together with ZESA. As a matter of fact, the theft of copper overhead conductors is being worsened by the advent of transnational organized crime that now characterize our contemporary policing terrain. Transnational organized crime manifests itself through the smuggling of stolen copper overhead conductors into neighboring countries, which presents challenges which require the multi-sectorial approach which we are doing with the ZESA, especially your loss control department. I have no doubt, therefore, that the Harare region motorcycles we are commissioning today, Honorable Minister, will be put to good use and shall no doubt strengthen the fight against the theft of copper and aluminium cables, as well as minimizing revenue loss. It is important to appreciate that the attainment of the goals of the revenue assurance operation Musabe Magetsi is hinged on mobility of operatives, among other important aspects that enhance operational efficiency. May I also state that the Zimbabwe Republic Police has various specialized sections that deal with theft and vandalism of electricity infrastructure. One of the key, which is the Criminal Investigations Department, Minerals, Flora and Fauna Unit. I'm happy to mention that through such specialization, the ZRP, working with the ZESA Loss Control Department, has been able to detect and arrest several organized criminal syndicates and individuals vandalizing our electricity infrastructure and stealing copper cables across the whole of Zimbabwe. Furthermore, a number of strategies aimed at curbing such illicit activities continue to be adopted, as well as to heighten our vigilance through intelligence-led partnerships, increasing our foot patrols, cycle and motorized patrols, and intensify awareness public campaigns. In addition, we continue to appeal to our honorable courts to mete out punitive and deterrent sentences on all criminals convicted for vandalism and theft of electricity cables. It is my strong conviction that such a resolve will go a long way in sending a strong message to all selfish and thoughtless criminal elements not to vandalize or tamper with our public utilities infrastructure. May I conclude by once again thanking the Zimbabwe Electricity Transmission Distribution Company and all related valued stakeholders for affording us, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, this milestone opportunity to share our perspectives and to stand among our engineers. I wish you a resounding success in your operation Musabe Magetsi. Once again, let me reiterate our deep-seated commitment as an organization to continue working with you and other stakeholders in the fight against theft and vandalism of public infrastructure. We are together in this war. I thank you. Ndatenda siyabonga. Thank you, sir.
May we give him another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going higher. We're going to introduce someone who's going to introduce our guest of honor, someone I would call an iron lady. As you can see, she's actually the only lady sitting in front. She's the Honorable Member of Parliament for Mudzi West constituency. She actually came into Parliament around 2015. And I remember, Honorable Deputy Minister, I think it was in 2016, when you had your maiden speech in Parliament and you moved a motion on veiled fires, which was debated largely by the nation and even in the House, and it was implemented. She is our Deputy Minister. She has a passion for the country. She has worked for the country even before independence. And in 1980, she actually joined the government, and she's been in the government and in the government, and now she's representing our communities, us, the citizens. And now she was actually appointed the Deputy Minister in the Ministry of Energy and Power Development. Ma'am, we welcome you. May you come and introduce our guest of honor. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, MC, or ED, the events director. I know what you were also thinking about. It's ED in small letters, not in the capital letters. Okay, may I start by recognizing our guest of honor who is among us. The chief, the executive chairman, Dr. Gata, is the executive chairman for Zetdc Holdings, by the way. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Energy and Power Development, Dr. Gloria Magombo, in her absence, but she's represented here by Mr. Ndemera. Our host, the Zetdc acting MD Engineer Choga, heads of Zetdc Holding subsidiaries here present, the Assistant Commissioner Taone Nyazema, who is representing the Commissioner General Zetdc, Comrade Matanga. Ladies and gentlemen, just allow me to say, all protocol observed. I've been tasked to do a very simple job. This is now afternoon. But before I do that, and because of the excitement that I have, I feel I should say just a very short statement in acknowledgement of what is happening here. As we are gathered here, ladies and gentlemen, to witness this momentous occasion, marking a very, very important milestone in the history of this power utility. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you remember very well when we were gathered at Southampton, when His Excellency the President came to commission the vehicles for the utility. The President categorically and without mincing his words said the ministry, and he even mentioned the name of the minister and the deputy and the Zetdc executive chairman, Dr. Gata. He said we must make sure that the debt the 15 billion debt is dealt with. How? You said, I don't know, I don't want to hear about this debt anymore. I want 100% debt collection. So we have a mammoth task within us to make sure that Zetdc revenue collection is 100% and all debt is cleared. The problem of debt collection must be eradicated, and the cases of vandalism must be strategically dealt with. This launch, ladies and gentlemen, this launch of the revenue collection assurance operation is indeed an important and commendable occasion. I would like to commend the Executive Chairman, Dr. Gata, and the management of ZESA Holdings for this achievement. I think they deserve an applause. I must say, well done, and keep up the good work. And please maintain this momentum. With those few words, I don't want to capture the platform. Let me go on to the task that I've been asked to perform, that of introducing our guest of honor, who is among us. He is not a new person, but someone you have seen on the television in different circles. He is the Minister of Information, Communication Technology, Posts and Courier Services in the government of Zimbabwe since November 2019. But a brief background to who is this gentleman. He is Honorable Jenfan Muskwere, who is a member of parliament for Makoni West constituency. He holds several academic and professional qualifications, chief among them being a doctorate degree in management and business leadership and a master's degree in business administration. Currently, he has submitted his thesis for a PhD in development studies, majoring in information communication technology. He's doing this with NAST. Honorable Muskwere is currently the chairperson of the Pan-African Postal Union, the position he will hold until July 2025. In his capacity as the Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, he envisages the transformation of Zimbabwe into a smart nation through development of digital infrastructure, digital skills, ICT innovation, and industry growth. Last but not least, he is the professional member of the Computer Society of Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to invite our guest of honor, Honorable Minister Dr. Jenfan Muskwere, to the podium to deliver his address.
We can all be seated. Hey, can you adjust the mic a bit back? the events director, Dr. George Manyaya, the Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development, Honorable Comrade Magna Mujiwa, the Executive Chairman of Zetdc Holdings, Dr. Engineer Sydney Gata. Our host, Engineer Choga, the Acting Director, Engineer Ralph Katsande. Our esteemed consultants who have come back to the mother country to help in power generation and distribution. All ZESA heads of departments and executives here present. Our esteemed security sector, today represented by Assistant Commissioner Nyazema. ZESA management and staff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, not forgetting the members of the Fourth Estate. It gives me great pleasure that I've been invited to this auspicious, momentous occasion. An occasion and event that underlines our government's commitment to ensure that there is sustainable power generation and distribution across the country. And this commitment, underlined by the fact that the implementation modalities to ensure that we've got sustainable revenue assurance systems. Let me thank you, Executive Chairman, Dr. Engineer Gata, for the warm welcome here today to grace this auspicious event, focusing on Operation Musabema Gets. This is a revenue assurance implementation modality that will ensure that the 5% revenue loss that ZESA is currently experiencing, which amounts to a minimum of 1.4 billion, will be extinguished. Last year, when His Excellency the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, launched the National Development Strategy, he identified priorities. And these priorities that are going to turn around the National Development Strategy include the transformation of our value chains. It includes a digital economy as a priority. It also includes a priority in terms of our health and well-being as a country. And in terms of the utilities and infrastructure pillar, electricity is the cog that is going to transform the value chains in this country. And as we walk towards Vision 2030, which is a journey that as Zimbabweans we've committed ourselves, it is a journey that we have said we are going to work together. The importance of electricity in the primary industries, in the secondary industries, and in the tertiary industries is of uttermost importance. And critically, as we generate power through solar plants, through hydro power stations, through thermal power stations, the efficient and effective, sustainable distribution of power to residential areas, to the industries, to the mining sector, to the agricultural sector is very critical. And the invitation today is to ensure that revenue assurance is consolidated. And this brings in the agility and mobility of ZESA technicians in order to plug all the revenue losses that ZESA has been experiencing. The coming in of motorbikes will assist in terms of mobility. It will also assist in terms of vandalism. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, power generation, and ZESA in particular, is a strategic organization which will contribute to the macroeconomic stability and growth of this country. There can never be sustainable agriculture without sustainable, efficient power generation and distribution. There can never be a favorable balance of trade in this country if there is no sustainable power generation, distribution, and revenue assurance. Distinguished guests, electricity is the cog. ICT is now the new oil. And we need an integration of these two sectors for us to have growth in terms of GDP. Power generation and distribution, including revenue assurance of this power utility, combined with ICTs, are critical cogs as we turn around this economy. There can never be sustainable exports, and there can never be an achievement of the 12 billion mining industry plan. Neither can we be able to domesticate our value chains if we do not consolidate the gains that have been achieved so far. It is very crucial that revenue assurance and anti-vandalism modalities are developed in order to secure an efficient distribution of power. And as a government, as we embark on the rural development strategy, electricity and ICTs will have to be integrated. The 15 billion that is owed by various local authorities, mining houses, and the public has got to be extinguished. And in the new dispensation, our major interest is to ensure that we develop action-oriented mechanisms. Mr. Chairman, Dr. Gata, I'm delighted to say that as a ministry, we need to develop the modus operandi which says no payment, no power. Disconnections should be a measure that should be instituted after clients have failed to stick to their payment plans. It is very important, Mr. Chairman, that we give a time frame that before the end of next year, smart meters should be deployed across the country. And all these criminal activities and economic saboteurs who stand in the way of Vision 2030 should be uprooted. To the loss control team, our message is that let's be vigilant and steadfast as we ensure that there is revenue assurance and collection. Let's be vigilant and steadfast as we fight a fight against vandalism. Vandalism cripples and incapacitates our journey towards Vision 2030. And we have a collective responsibility as government. We have a collective responsibility as members of the security forces. We have a collective responsibility as citizens of this country. As citizens of this country, the president has said, we must make sure that this collective responsibility is consolidated through reporting and even apprehending these criminals. These criminals disrupt the domestication of our value chains. They disrupt the economic growth of this country. They also disrupt our health and well-being. They disrupt the medical sector, the education sector, and all the critical sectors in this economy. So as we walk towards Vision 2030, the $15 billion debt has to be extinguished, Executive Chairman. It has to be extinguished in the interests of an upper middle income society by the year 2030. So everyone must pay their bill, whether it's a local authority, it's a school, it's a mining house, whether it's a farmer. We must all be responsible. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, it is now my singular honor and privilege to officially declare the Operation Musabema Gets officially launched. I thank you.
We may be seated. Thank you very much, Honorable. Yeah, I'm also perplexed. I was trying to look where you are reading. So, at this rate, Honorable, I heard that you are Honorable Doctor. Very soon to be Doctor Engineer. I can see. And we also want to thank you, Deputy Minister, for the words, and you reminded us of the task that is at hand. We thank you. Just as we prepare for the final act, which is the commissioning, I know that we've got a short drama called Paperbag that are just going to come, and where are you? Can you just come so that we, as we prepare?
Kumareni kwedu magetsi akajamba mukwashi. Ndofunga dzimba kutoita 35 dzakajamba magetsi. Ndogara kuwadzana. Saka toita sei? Ndokwandira kutoenda mukwashi. Ndiratidzei. Asi ndinomangara kwamuri here mukwashi. Saka ndagona zvendauya right time. All right.
Ambuya nyaya iripo kuti dambudziko renyu ribatsirike. Handi mati pane dzimba 35
dzisina magetsi.
Saka zvamungaite imimika. Amene asikumanikidza kana singadei wewe.
Aiwa.
Fault yenyu imimika. Yatouya pamusoro pemamwe mafault.
All right.
Anga aripo asati atoatendwa.
Saka zvekuti ndikatadza kuti kuona imi ndogona kuti ngenditori kumashure kwamamwe mafault.
Zvakanyanyisa. Saka kuti mubatsirike imimika. Munogona ngoti pamba yega yega. 35. Mungu kolekta $5. Moya mondi pandonatenda. Ipapa aimbonezi.
Saka zvokutoti ndine yanda ndinayo ndikakupa itotoswera tatu nemagetsi.
Naske. Apana maminutes. But izvo ndezvedu asitaurwi ndezvedu chitega izvo.
Saka ndine sofa ndine 100 yandinayo.
Hamuna kana zimwe 2 dzakadai.
Aiyo. Chiko zvinezvi ndakuna collecta kune vamwe ka kuita tite se move mangogadzirisa.
All right.
Anditi.
Aiyo metenya.
Mkwasha, ndichiri ipapo. Magetsi angu arikasika kupera ini.
Arikasika kupera muri washandisa sei?
Tinge chiboila mazondo iwawo, bhinzi, giza, zvese chingoblowa musoro.
Panguva imwe chete.
Saka toita sei toregera kudya izvezvi baba vanenge vandikuda mazondo. Ndoita sei?
Ipapo yataura samamati imi.
Pane zvandakanzwa kunzi hanzi especially mimi munoshanda kuzesa imimi. Hanzi pane zvamunogadzira here kuti aite lola so
musadedzere munozviona nevanhu pandinoyamba kwenitotaurira handiti
all right
iyo inoda mari fast
hazvina kuipa
Hello, Mr. Paperbag. Maswera. Aya taswira maswera. Riri sei basa? Anditika. Oh. Mama katoritarisira. Anditika. Ndaona mchipuwa mari hapa. Ndi. All right. Asi vanochidya dze 100. Chinzwa paperback. Usaite zvekutamba nebasa anditika. Ndiye gantamba pabasa anditika. Isusu tiri kuti no to corruption. Tiri kunzwana naka. Uri todaroka. Saka tiri kufamba nenzira imwe chete. Tiri kunzwa muri kufamba muchizviti ndimi mashefu, muri mainjiniya chichi. Handisi kuziva kuti maapa pamusoro pawagwata nawakatsandere kubasa kuno. Tiri kuona kamafambiro amuri kuita nebasa. Muri kutorova zvakanaka. Ndo marwere amuri kuita basa. Iyi mari imati ndiye harurwa inotera kuzopiwa kuno kubasa. Paperback. Iwo ndanchikumbira kuti uzoye kuofisi. Timbotaura takanyatsogara pasi. Ndine maripoti ako anenge ari kuti ari kuuya kuofisi kwangu. Haisina wekuwengwa iwewe. Uri wakadaiwa wengwi, tinowenga hunhu uri mauri. Ndo unowengwa. Chiita kuti iwewe Zetdc iende kumberi. Kwete kudzokera kumashure nekuda kwecorruption yako. Anditika. Tiri kunzwanana? Aiwa, adondwari unoya yako kuofisi. Hautangiri panapa, uchauya kuofisi totaura takagara. Anditika. Hatidi kuti tiuraye basa nekuda kwecorruption. Anditika. Uye kuofisi kwangu ndikuone.
Varowere maoko. Ladies and gentlemen, musabe magetsi. Mazvinzwa.
Asi mkwasha vakataura zvekunyeba kana. Asi nemari yatakavapa. Apa ndakolekta futi imwe mari nhasi. Apa vasati vasvika. Ndoita sei? Apa ndoda kubika. Asi kuti ndeve uroi. Kuti vanotinyebera. Ndatopererwa. Ndoita sei? Asi ndambonzwa mai Rudo vachiti pane vemagetsi vari kutenderera kuti vari kutofamba dzimba nedzimba uchigadzira. Reka ndimbotarisa seruko. Ndisi kumbovaonai. Makadii baba? Tinofara edu. Aiwa, tinofara. Magona mufunge. Izvo zvinanga ndichitongotaura ndega kuti vizesa nezuro ndakauya kubasa ndichimhangara forward. Ndikasangana nevamwe baba vakati tisu vakuru vacho tinogadzira magetsi. Vakati asi panoda mari. Saka zvamauya ndofunga zvinhu zvacho zvakutongoitwa chimbi magona baba masvika. Tinotenda. Panoda mari kuti mugadzire. Bosi dzimba dzanga dzakajamba kuno 35. Vakati zvazvitombodi kuti munomhangara meno kumafolds kwenyu. Hanzi munongotipa mari totongouya. Izvo zvinanditori neimwe yandanga ndakatokolekta mamaraini ese kuti ikwani. Ndisikazondima matumwa here bosi vanenge vakuru vacho.
Mama, protocol yeZTTDC kana yezesa haifambi ichidaro. Pakaita problem unoya muchiripota problem. Tinoya tichigadzira problem yenyu yamataura for free. Handiti. Kwete kuti munoti makapa munhu mari.
Apa nhasi
munhu zvake.
andakana sense. Ambuya vakaganisira ndokurekta mari yangu akandapinda manja. Front yangu ndaiserwa zvakanaka.
Sina izvazvo mama, magetsi enyu tagadzira. Izvozvo aita.
Ndikutoona atobaka kwese uko. Saka uyu wekudya mari uyu.
Aiwa, don't worry zenyu. Tinotrace, ani mukaona munowaziya.
Mari yangu here ngwachi.
Chiregedzai mai. Chiregedzai.
Ndopinda nemi kuzesa ikoko ndinovaziya ndikavaona. Ndinovaziva.
Aiwa, tinokwanisa kuenda tese mama, munonotiratidza munhu wacho wamakapa mari yenyu.
Ndiwo baba vakauya. Imi babai. Ndiwo ava. Imi babai. vakuru venyu vezesa vakauya.
Makuita chii manje?
Ndikumbacheka problem yemakebhosi apa.
Tatagadzirisa zvese kare.
Ndiwe baba vekutora mari yedu nezura. Vakati tisu vakuru vacho vezesa mukangotipa mari chete zvinhu zvenyu zvinobva zvatonaka. Ndikuda mari yangu nhasi. Ndikuda mari yangu Mukwasha, ndipei mari yangu.
Chindiregereraiwo amai ndimbotaurawo nawo. Paperback. Handizivi kuti kake chingani. Tichisangana naye.
Anofanana naye munoacho.
Baba, makati ndimi vakuru ina handichaziya ndikuda mari yangu.
Chinzwai baba. Isusu tiri kuti zero tuti corruption. Handiti. Saka imimi mai avari kuti vakakupai mari yavo muchiti munogadzira imi magetsi ipapo makakolekta mari dzedzipa dzinosvika 35 dzamakati munogadzira magetsi zvisingazikanwi kubasa. Hatizivi pane mama makanyorerana navo pasi.
Handina vakatondiwo vekumafouts vachevavo ndakatongovaona ndichipinda ino.
Asi izvozvo zvava zvaita zvakanaka amai. Imimi mese baba ava Paperback nemi amai mune mhosva.
Kuindaita mhosva yeye neMukwasha.
Mabatwa nemhosva mama.
Yei Mukwasha?
Teerai murango wezesa. Teedzerai kuti magetsi anofamba sei. Hamubraibi munhu kumupa mari kuti akugadzirirei magetsi musango zvisingazikanwi.
Kusatoziva chaiko. Tanga tatiti pamwe ndizvo zvamunoita kakuzesa. Kusatoziva zvino ndakuziva kuti hatibhadhare mari.
Imimi
kana inini handitozivi.
Aiwa amai zvakanaka. Imi mundaikumbirawo mangwana kuofisi kwedu na 8 o'clock.
Aiwa tinotenda baba ndinouya.
Corruption. Kama nilino wapasi. Tese nita marova pamsaka pako. Ndizo. Please ngati shandei maringene mtemo yebasa. Sente ma shortcuts. Tumapati terms katinoita totua. Tichishanda nezita rekambani. Ngati sente sekudaro. Ndizo. Ndinotangara rimwe gore kune mwe electrician wedu. Akaenda kushinwa iwu pamba kwa mwana. Akanogadzira magetsi ipapo. Mwana akarwa nemagetsi ari mutambo akafira ipapo. Tikushibisa. Sita Zetdc. Andit, please let us value basa redu. Andit, corruption yarambwa zvachose. Kubva kune mukuru wenyika ndio number 1 enemy yake corruption. Saka please ngatisaite corruption. Ngatichengetedze mtemo yebasa. Mashefu kana muripo mune kana kumashopu kwenyu kunonzi kwakubhadharwa magetsi zvataurwa pano kuti ngaabhadharwe. Ndafara chinhu 1 pane panzi disconnection yemagetsi ngaiitwe kumunhu asina kubhadhara whether ndiani. Tikuya kwenyu ndakwenda kubackground.
Wow. You can't add more. Because corruption is real. Just as they were doing their act, Honorable Minister, as we speak, just a snippet to Operation Msaba Magetsi. Last week, management of ZESA had a blitz, Shekunze area, Harare South. And they discovered that of the 51 households where we did the blitz, 45, these Ramadembo, were unconnected. And as we speak today, 41, Bapinda Mbare Magistrates Court. That's how bad it is. As we prepare for the official commissioning, we're just talking to Ripano, social media. Do you have anything? I see we are live streaming here.
Thank you, Doc. Definitely, we are live broadcasting on all platforms, all ZESA platforms, ZTN, and other social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, etc. But just a snippet of what we have sampled from tweet responses. At Nobukosi.
There is Noku there.
Yes.
Yes.
She's saying that I'm watching you live from Blawai. Hey, I have leads on, and how do I go about it? Lingebi, Amagets.
Anything else?
We have P. Zuze at P. Zuze. I'm watching you from Australia, former ZESA employee, and want to come back to ZESA. Tell me more.
Wow. And another one? Do you still have any other?
We have Polite. Polite is just saying, good job. And we have John at Lungile G20. Arikuti uyu usabe magetsi woye. Atai munhu. Svikaine pa hopli yapo. Mumboti hokoyo at Passion Java.
Chicho. Our ushers, hope you can come and take. So now, tashika pangoya official commissioning, whereby vakachena chete ndo amunomboenda nawo maona machena varutajera sekukudzai top table makachena. So you can go. The ushers will come and take you so that you can go for the commissioning there. I think do pakudiwa my helmet said I have to papa because now to move mambo drive did. Where are the helmets? So I'm down the other side. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. And it's going to camera. Here, the camera.
I now have the pleasure and the honor to invite you to cut the ribbon to commemorate this occasion, which will see improved performance of ZESA and our economy. Thank you.
On behalf of Government of Zimbabwe,
Thank you.
this represents, on behalf of the Government of Zimbabwe, this represents ZESA's commitment in terms of mobility, agility, with the explicit goal to ensure that there is revenue assurance within the power utility as we work towards Vision 2030. So these bikes represent the first phase as we have launched Operation Musabe Magets. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Maybe we just want you to have a few. So, Minister, can you just go on this one? Deputy Minister? That one? Chairman, this one. Musa Bemagetsi, Musa Donenema Baskor. Ipapo. Your helmet. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the government of Zimbabwe declares war on these nefarious activities. Maybe just preach for them. Help them. Just to start. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, can we clap our hands? Here we go. Yes, Chairman. Yes, Honorable. Thank you, Deputy Minister. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we can take our seats as our guests come back. Honorable Minister, this is the team. More will be spread across the country, but this is the team that will be carrying out the activities on the war that you have declared. Thank you so much. We can take our seats. Miss Nyangura, could you come now? Miss Nyangura. She's the retail manager of Zetdc. And she'll be presenting some tokens. Okay. So at this moment, we're going to invite the executive chairman just to come and help us give our guests some tokens of appreciation. Could she? Yes, yes, yes. They'll be coming. You can come, eh? Officer, you can come also. Service you can come in. Okay. So first of all, we'll be giving a token of appreciation to our law enforcement agents who are represented here by Wanyazema. Ask me. Can we clap our hands? Come to. Thank you. Then we have our Deputy Minister, Comrade Magnam Mjigiwa. We thank you, ma'am, for taking your time. At this moment of time, we would want to give our guest of honor, the Acting Minister of Power and Energy Development, Swede. Thank you. We thank you. Thank you very much. We can take our seats. Thank you very much. We've gotten to a stage whereby we are going to ask our acting commercial director, Mr. Ralph Katsande, to come and give us a vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Our acting Minister of Energy and Power Development, Honorable Jennifer Mswere, the Honorable Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development, Honorable Magna Mujgiwa, the Secretary for Energy and Power Development, Dr. Magombo in absentia, the Executive Chairman of Zetdc Holdings, Dr. Sidney Ngata, Zetdc Assistant Commissioner, Nyazema, the Zetdc Holdings Senior Management and Consultant here present, and the Zetdc Holdings subsidiary companies, MDs, regional transmission managers, GMs, and senior managers here present. Zetdc management staff, members of the print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. I think you agree with me that we've had an exciting and eventful morning. I am not going to take up a lot of time in winding up that event because we want to allow our revenue assurance teams to go straight to the field to start their work as we launch this operation. On behalf of the Zetdc Holdings Executive Chairman and the group, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude and thanks to our guest of honor, Honorable Jennifer Mswere. Jennifer. We thank you, sir, for gracing this occasion. We thank you for the time off from your busy schedule to be with us on this important launch. In addition, I would like to express gratitude as well to all those entities that have partnered us today to make this occasion a success. This includes Zetdc, ZAC, our own National Training Center, and Nyaradzo. Special thanks to the organizing committee, drawn from all the group companies, PowerTel, Zend, ZPC, and Zetdc, for a sterling work done to make this occasion a success. You know, we are aware you have had sleepless nights to make sure that everything is in order. We thank you.
Thank you very much. As we prepare to end, it's only the Master of Ceremony who has not had a speech. So can I also have my speech, Honorable? Honorable, I saw you being grilled in Parliament the day before yesterday, and I saw it in the Hansard, where the President has launched a $0 fuel facility. And my question also is, I saw it's being celebrated. Is Zetdc also going to benefit from this? Thank you very much. Kusachema. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister and Deputy Minister. So as we prepare to go for lunch, Hanzu Kama Ugasha, our Executive Chairman, will be hosting us for lunch. But the people said we have been motivated by your speech and we want to drive off. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can drive off. All the best. Hanzi tangane pa hopli mazvinzwa ka pa hopli hapo. Can we clap our hands as they go? Motivate them, guys. Goodbye.